65. That is the number on which the first innings of the English team has folded up, which has in turn meant that India got, remember, 471. So the gap, and that is the magical number that all of us need to remember, is 6 runs. So despite highs and lows, sessions shared, sessions won, sessions lost, at the end of the day, now that two teams have finished both their innings, the gap is so small, just a hit away to the fence. A hit over the rope, that's the difference between the two teams. So nothing much to choose. The one phrase that really comes to my mind is that it's on a knife's edge, this game. We still have about 2.5, or a little less than 2.5 days to go. But as you know, the last session is always big, so effectively 2.5 days to go. So it's bang in the center of a test match. Both teams have finished their first innings, and it feels like as if you could have just started the match from here. There was nothing much to do, and said, okay, 1-1 innings, both teams, go ahead, whoever gets more wins.
You have actually won by 6 runs if it's a 1-inning shootout.
No, I'm saying just a marginal difference.
Yeah.
It's actually, what I'm saying is that you've done 2.5 days of hard work, both teams, and it's effectively both of you are at the starting point. It's almost the same.
Yes, it's like the Formula 1 race wherein you're just ahead by 0.2 seconds, 1 and 2. That is how it is. It's that close. But it's a stalemate at this point. No team has a big advantage. No team has a major disadvantage here. Okay?
Okay.
Because, as I said, Bumrah 5 wickets. Harry Brook missed a chance to get a ton. But the rest of the bowling lineup also, I don't know what they were thinking today. But the catching. I am sorry, if there is one thing which will hurt India in leads, and because they don't have a big enough, and instead of 6, if you added 60, India would be in the driver's seat at this point. Brook had 2 chances today on 46 and 82. Jasprit Bumrah could have gotten 9 wickets. 4 catches were dropped off Jasprit Bumrah instead of 5. 4. And look at where you are.
Well, some of those wickets he's anyway taken, so couldn't have gone to 9.
I know, but then
Eventually he took them.
I mean, see, we wouldn't have been even looking at a 6-run deficit. It could have been a 60-run lead for India. Jaiswal, I don't know what is he doing on the field at this point in time when it comes to catching. He looks rattled. He is responsible for 4 catch drops. I mean, look at it. 3 catch drops. Pant dropped 1 today. So look at the balance of karma. 0, no ball, but missed a ton. Vintage Harry Brook.
One of those chances was also a no ball, so which was Bumrah's own doing.
Yes.
Brook could have been out for a duck. He's the guy who's the second highest scorer for England in this test match. And so, yeah, I agree. The big difference between the two teams was their fielding, and right now it's nothing much to choose from, but you'd have to say that had India just done the basics right in the field, you probably would have been sitting at 150 run lead, and that would have been crucial in the context of the test match. But now it's on even keel. The one other difference that I see in this test match is India reached 471 on the dint of 300s. England have only 1. And they've got almost the same amount of runs. So it actually tells you that for England it was an all-round effort, everyone chipping in, whereas in India it was the story of 3.5 you could say, with KL Rahul also giving that foundation, but effectively 3 batters who did it for you. And I don't know whether now, I know because you're at a 50-50 stage of the match, so it may not be that crucial. But imagine if England had gone on to take a 50-100 run lead, I'm sure we would have spoken a gazillion times about 7 wickets for 41. 100%.
I think it's clearly a case of what ifs for India. I think dropped catches, Siddharth has clearly mentioned, the collapse is there. I think one point that clearly stays, and that we discussed in our last night's discussion also, that there's no support for Bumrah. You look at the figures of Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj. Yes, you know, Prasidh has taken 3 wickets. Siraj also came back with a couple of wickets. But I think, I don't know whether it's really down to the pitch, whether it's a belter. That's why both Siraj and Prasidh Krishna, they were taken to the cleaners. No maidens between them whatsoever. But the kind of rhythm that Siraj specifically showed in this game, I don't know how much the management would be really confident of having him for the next match or so. See, if it's a complete green top, then you would expect Siraj to play, do well. But if England continue to prepare those flat and fast wickets, can Siraj really be the spearhead of this attack? I'm not sure about it.
No, but he's not the spearhead. Bumrah.
No, but when Bumrah does not play, he has to be the spearhead.
I don't think on this pitch any bowler is going to. What are you going to do? You think that, okay, just take Siraj away. Take a Prasidh Krishna. They were your second and third best bowlers, right? Coming in, we were talking about the good form. When you had to pick an 11, you also picked Siraj. So you replace them with whoever else you got, a Harshit Rana or an Arshdeep or whatever. See, the one common theme in Indian cricket, it's always there, that anyone who sits on the bench is the best bowler that the world has ever created. Anyone who's sitting on the bench is the best batter that has ever been created, because you miss that. It's effectively like saying you miss the sun when it starts to rain. So that's when you start, when the sun is always there, you're cribbing, and when it rains, you're like, where's the sun? That's the same thing here. So I think the pitch that is on offer, you could have played, instead of, let's say, a Siraj, you got Akashdeep, or you got
Harshit Rana.
I still think it would have been very tough for those bowlers. See, again, you're talking about the inexperience of Tongue and a Bryden Cass and Chris Wokes, but look at them. They also struggled, but they may be inexperienced, but they're highly rated in the English camp, and that's why they're playing this test match. When they struggled, just that, as I said, they didn't have a bowler who was so superior that made everyone else look bad. They were all pretty much operating on the same plane, so all of them look same. In India, you have a Bumrah who's, I've said before also, at the risk of repeating myself, he's just next level. So when he does all this, we sit and say, "Arey yaar, Bumrah can do it. Why is Siraj not doing it? Why did Prasidh Krishna?" But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of runs. That's what, see, again, we've been saying this from the start. Had England been dismissed for 300, then maybe it would have been a different thing. But and even if they were dismissed for 300, it would have been all down to that one man in Jasprit Bumrah, who's just next level. This is a belter. This is a pitch where a lot of runs are going to be scored. So I think the only bowler in that sense, I guess the only bowler even on a flat pitch other than a Jasprit Bumrah who on an occasion could have picked up 3-4 wickets would have been a Kuldeep Yadav. I do not see anybody else who would have done it. So I think it'll be harsh to say that to next test match don't play a Siraj.
No, that's not what I meant. My only point was that even if it's a belter of a track, Siraj's inconsistent form has continued, and that's where I think, despite being the workhorse in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, we have to look at some kind of match situations. When he took those wickets in BGT, that's when match was pretty much gone. Now also he took a couple of wickets, but then you would say that he had already leaked a good amount of runs. So that's where I'm feeling that better to have someone who who would bring that freshness or the newness.
Who?
Could be Arshdeep Singh for that matter.
See, again, as I said, anyone who sits on the bench looks good.
Yeah, looks
there
good.
Could have been a good possibility. Arshdeep was also playing. It would have been a similar.
No, but I'm not saying that that had X played ahead of Y, things would have been different. I'm just saying that on current rhythm, I don't think Siraj should play. That's the point.
I would be worried about Siraj on a pitch where it has a lot to offer, and majority bowlers, let's say the English bowlers, are also on top of the Indian batters. They picked up a lot of wickets. Indians are struggling to get runs, and England batters are struggling to get runs against all. And in that, Siraj proves to be ineffective and blunt. Then I will be worried. I'd say no. I think this was a pitch where Bryden Cass is picking up wicket, Tongue and Vokes, everyone's picking up wicket. Shardul Thakur has come up and picked up a wicket, and look at what Siraj is doing. Then I'd be worried. But I just think in this pitch, it'll be just unfair to be judging your bowlers. I agree with you that he's not been on the top of his game completely. No denying that.
That's where I'm coming from. Yeah.
But as I said again, I don't think it's a situation where I'm worried. Even now, for me, next test match, I'm going to start with a similar bowling lineup, and I think Jasprit Bumrah will play the second test match. I would have this because quite effectively, this is your best bowling lineup. The only one who I actually think who can be a wicket taker in all of this is a Kuldeep Yadav. He is another bowler who just doesn't rely on conditions, who can fool a batter. And maybe now in hindsight, you would look at it, could you have gone with two spinners? Could you not have gone with two spinners? That's another thing. But again, I may sound like a stuck record, but once again, you bowled 3 overs of Shardul Thakur in 2 sessions. And I agree that if it was a good pitch and the opposition is struggling and all your bowlers are picking wickets and he doesn't get a chance to bowl, fine. Because he's not your first choice pacer, not your second, not your third, he's your 4th choice pacer. Completely agree. But today where the opposition has also scored 400 plus runs, and as you're saying, Siraj is not being that effective. Prasidh picked up wicket, but there were occasions where he was not looking effective. Jadeja has bowled, I think, the maximum number of overs, just almost as much as Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj. He's not picked up a wicket, but you are trusting in him to bowl. And in all of this, it does look like a eyesore that one bowler only gets 6. I don't know.
No, have they mistaken Shardul Thakur to be a batting all-rounder? Have they taken him to be Nitish Reddy? I mean, what? It's a case of mistaken identity, is it? 6 overs from Shardul, who can bowl far better.
The only reason, I can understand why Shardul would not have bowled that much, I think maybe he's injured. Maybe there's some...
Not
there's
at
some
all.
He was
injury.
moving at all, and he was
Not at
moving very well in the
Not at
field.
all. I don't think he's injured. It's just the captain doesn't believe in him, but that I don't think is the right call.
Yeah.
And I guess it's early days for Shubman Gill, but he's also not been spot on as captain so far. So I'm sure this is a learning curve, and you don't want to be harsh on him. He's got 100, and the team has got a lot of runs there. But he needs to go and thank Jasprit Bumrah for kind of saving him the embarrassment, because had Jasprit Bumrah not been there, it could have been long 2.5 days for the Indian team, and that's where scrutiny of his captaincy would have come in his decision of what he went with, or the plans that the team came with, or his plans of rotating his bowler. So I still can't understand on an occasion where the opposition, and again I'm saying the tail is beginning to get runs. Cars and Vokes are frustrating you.
Sena countries, Indian bowlers not able to blast the tail out. Time immemorial, we have seen it. And Siraj doesn't learn. I'm sorry. The point where India were rattled mentally is when Brook, an incoming delivery from Siraj, he tried to get it down, he got hurt. Siraj is talking with him and trying to put him off his game. Boss, he's already hit you for runs. He did the same to Travis Head when the horse had bolted. He's doing the same to Harry Brook.
Yeah.
Siraj in the last 1.5 years has not learnt. And he will not learn. Because somewhere down the line, he's stuck in one particular thing that, I will bowl. But look at 27 overs, the most by any bowler. BGT, same. He bowled.
Workhorse.
But
that's the term we used.
He did not build the pressure up.
He did not take wickets when it was required. As simple as that.
But again, the conditions now, he will have a convenient smoke screen of the conditions. I tried. I only believed in Jassi Bhai. And he delivered. I don't believe in myself, but I believe in Jassi
But
Bhai.
you tell me, that's my question. Other than Jasprit Bumrah, there have been some 7-8 other bowlers that have been on display. Which bowler has looked menacing?
No
Ben
one.
Stokes?
No. But again, to an
apart from
extent,
that,
but
yeah.
tell me.
I mean, if you look at it, see, no one else apart from that.
But I know, see again, I am not taking the blame away from Mohammad Siraj, because it's not just his one test match, as you pointed out. BGT also did not have an ideal BGT. I think he had a mixed bag of a BGT, not really bad either. A mixed bag sort of a BGT, because he was your workhorse in that sense. But yeah, he's not really had a test match where he's stood up and been the game changer for you, and you expect that out of one of your top bowlers. I completely agree with you, and I think he will be under scrutiny in this series. I don't think they'll give up on him so immediately, but maybe in 2-3 test matches, if he fails to light up the stage, then maybe you look beyond him and you go to maybe Arshdeep you go to even before, because when Bumrah won't play, Arshdeep would anyway be coming in, but maybe then you start thinking of an Akashdeep or a Harshit Rana, whoever, but not immediately. I think that's one thing, and the point about him being the way he is, the only, I mean, in terms of his aggression and things that he says, whether it's to the tail ender or Harry Brook or whatever, the only benefit of the doubt I'll give him is that he's consistent. Like, he's always like that. So I will then say that it is part. See, the issue arises when that's not what the kind of a bowler you are, and suddenly you're doing it, and then you'll say, listen, you can't do this, you're not used to it, this only disturbs your own rhythm and you don't perform. But this you'll have to give to Siraj, that from the time he made his debut till now, he's been consistent with being the guy who likes to take on the batter. So maybe that's part of his personality as such.
Yes, but then deliver with your core strength.
I know it doesn't look good when that's the...
See, if he's taken 4 wickets, okay, and he's in the middle of a spell, he's hit the baton, then you talk, then I understand. Yes, give him hell. I understand it. Do it. But when you've already hit him for 18 runs and you're continuing to talk, what's the point? It's like, didn't we criticize the Aussies for that kind of behavior?
Maybe he was frustrated. He had taken his catch now. Maybe you must have reminded him, I took your catch, you were out for 0.
Yes.
Jassi bhai was no ball. So he's frustrated with that.
So that's it. That's it. That's the only thing Harry Brook gave. But
Okay.
then you have to thank even the England batters for throwing away their wickets in that sense. Jamie
I
Smith.
told you yesterday
Yeah.
that one hope that you have is
Yes.
that they will give you some wickets. Some wickets they will give you.
Pope, Smith, Brook. Everybody gave their wickets away. 3 wickets. And that's why you have a 6-run lead. Otherwise, they could have easily gotten you a 40-50 run lead.
How do you think the match is going to pan out from here? Any demons in the pitch? Anything that you think is going to be troublesome from here on? Or do you think it will be effectively 2 sides enjoying batting paradises and we end up with a draw at the end of 5 days?
I'm tempted to say it's a draw. I will still say it is a draw because 3 days, you have finished 8 sessions. You have another 7 sessions left. It's more than halfway point. India will have to bat at least 3 sessions to give them a big
But they've almost
target.
finished at halfway stage. They finished 1-1 innings each. So
Yeah. There is a crack though that has developed just outside at fuller length area outside off.
But it does not really look that troubling. That's the
And
point.
there is some grip, but it is slow grip. It's not deteriorating that much.
let's not also forget about Jadeja actually. I mean, you expect him to give you a breakthrough or two with the experience that he comes with, and he's been given enough of overs as well.
Slightly unlucky. Couple of catches dropped off him also. That's also a point.
Yeah, Smith, Sai Sudarshan didn't take that catch at
Even Pant also dropped a catch.
Pant dropped the catch.
So I think Jadeja was unlucky, but I don't know. I get this very weird feeling that I think it's advantage England from here on. That's what at least I feel. See, I understand that England's bowling is very inexperienced if we keep Chris Woakes out, but we also have to look at this thing that Indian batting is also slightly inexperienced. You have, Sai Sudarshan, a debutant. There is Karun Nair who has come back after a long time. Both did not really show any form. All eyes once again would be on Gill and Pant, but I think England would be bowling in more favourable conditions. It is cloudy. The dark clouds are obviously hovering over. This is where I think English bowlers, they excel a lot. So I think England would be having, most of the favourable conditions now in the last session. Apart from that, I think I just feel that India would still be able to score a good about 300 or so, but still it's advantage England.
See how many sessions they should bat. Because if you're pushing for a result, you need to bat until tea tomorrow.
No, is it really important to see that how many sessions India bat or how many runs should India score? Let's not forget the last time India-England faced off in a test match in England, then the home team needed 378 and they chased it pretty easily. Yeah. So that's the point.
And I think, if you start looking at how many sessions we have to bat, I think it's still a bit of a negative thinking that you're trying to wind down the time. I think at the moment, and both teams should be looking at that, we can win. So if you're India, I think your approach should be, let's get some more runs, whatever, 300, 400 more runs, bat for, this session, bat another day, which is going to be day 4. And then let's see, day 5, we put them under pressure. If we put that sort of a total, and they will have the pressure of chasing down. That should be India's mentality. And of course, England will have that mentality right now. Let's get them out for below 300 or something. And then we chase it down because the pitch is going to remain. What I see, for me to say it will be a draw this early, I'm not sure, because you never know. Since they've finished both their innings with good amount of runs, because both teams bat fast, and that's the other thing which is really going to help us get a result if there is one. So I'm not going to say that it will be, but I still think there will be runs. The pitch really doesn't have anything in it. The only thing that might help England right now, as I said, overcast condition, and there is a cloud cover, but then though there will be phases. Once again, the cloud cover will go away, you'll have bright sunshine. So again, that crack also, and I can't think of any ball that would have scared any batter so far.
Just a couple
that Bumrah delivery to Woakes.
Jadeja also, that turned a lot.
Two balls in 3 days of test match, it's not something that you need to be worried about. So still should be a batting paradise, and from India's point of view, they should be looking to get some runs.
Like the point is, if at the end of day's play, let's say India are about 120 for 3, I would say England would be in an advantageous position. That's the point. India don't have to lose wickets.
Yeah. See, because there is time, and if you continue to bat pretty quickly, a result will be there. But then,
because even I feel 300 would not be enough.
is the pitch going to be deteriorating that quickly to get you 10 wickets in a cluster? That is the problem.
It doesn't look like.
No, it doesn't. No. To me also. I think what you need from the Indian team is application. Once again, you got to realize, respect the conditions. If there is a swing on offer, there's no need to hurry. Take your time, spend time on the crease. You'll get loose balls, get your runs. Typical test match cricket, which they showed. The team showed in the first inning. So you'll need that application. You become a bit complacent. You take the foot off the pedal thinking you're in a comfortable position. Then disaster follows, as it happened. But I think India reached that comfort level in the first innings, just 3 down, 400 runs, and then you saw that collapse. So that's something that you have to guard against. There's still no demons in the pitch. I don't think the English bowling lineup is also that. Yes, you will lose wickets here and there. You could lose 2 quick wickets in the middle, but overall, if you don't lose your nerves, I think there should be a lot of runs. No comments, Pawan, you want us to take? I've been waiting that he will.
It is suddenly gotten dark, and there was prediction of rain.
Yes, there is
evening.
prediction of rain
dark
in the
clouds.
last session.
I saw dark clouds. A lot of dark clouds.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Brook misses list of Fakhar Zaman by 1 run, no ball.
Okay, 1 run, no ball.
That Jasprit Bumrah Champions Trophy, is he talking about that? No.
No, I think he's probably talking about the list that the same thing happened with Fakhar Zaman being out for a 0. There was a no ball, and then
He went out to score a century.
99.
Here, Fakhar Zaman on century, he hit in Champions Trophy. 114.
That's what.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
He missed by 1 run.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
99.
Got it.
That's what I said. Champions Trophy.
Champions Trophy.
So 75 and 99.
Danush is saying even Nitish Kumar can bowl 6 overs and score
Yeah.
1 run. No, he would have scored more runs. And it's not Shardul's fault. It is your selection. If you didn't believe in him, you shouldn't have picked him. And I blame the Indian think tank for. If you believed in him, you've picked him, then he's obviously a bowling all-rounder. You need to give him, if everyone else has bowled 27, at least he should get half, 12, 13 overs. Can't leave him at 6. Or then if you don't believe him, then don't play him. Play Nitish Kumar Reddy.
Correct.
He'll get you more runs. So that's baffling. I mean, what they've done.
Same script is running from 1 year, where in many matches we let the run, Shubham Garg is saying, leaks at 6-7 run rate. This happened in Adelaide, Brisbane, Bengaluru versus New Zealand today also. That's true. We have conceded far too many quick runs and let the advantage slip away. Far too many runs. Statistics is saying by Nikhil's logic, scold topper for topping the exam.
But
because
I never said Bumrah should be scolded.
Yeah.
I said Bumrah should be appreciated.
Appreciated.
But all I'm
Because
saying
he's
is
so
if you've
good.
set a tough question paper and you have a genius in your class who gets 90%, everyone else is getting 40%, because that was so, I'll have to look at everyone else, no? But that guy is a genius. He'll get 90 no matter what the paper is.
Exactly.
And I didn't scold him. If you didn't see our show yesterday, Sadistic Still, you should have seen, we only had praises for Jasprit Bumrah. And even if I didn't want to praise, I have no option.
He's a cheat code. As
Yeah,
simple
I mean,
as
he's
that,
so
yeah.
good.
He's absolutely. I mean, 4 5-wicket hauls in the last 6 tests. Perth, Brisbane, Melbourne, now Leeds. Jasbir Singh, Siraj the KL Rahul in bowling. Ouch. Overhyped. When will we decide 11 based on stats? But why should we decide it based on stats? That's very misleading also. Look at form. Look at how you are shaping up when you're warming up.
But what is it? KL Rahul got a good innings this
Good
time.
innings, yeah. I mean,
So I don't know whether it's a praise or it's
not a praise.
It's not a praise.
It's not a praise.
One of your better batters in the last 5-6 test matches, KL Rahul.
In Sena countries. Let's be
Yeah,
very-
Sana countries.
Yep.
No, Australia he had a disaster.
Very average.
Very
Very
started
average.
off well.
After a couple of matches,
and
yeah.
then dipped.
He was good
Up,
until
down.
Gabba, but did
No,
not
he
do-
was good until Rohit came back. Because he displaced him from that position, na?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't bat at 6. 1 innings, but KL Rahul's been shuffled up and down so many times. So Sridhar Savaikar
What do you
didn't.
make of that comparison? Siraj and KL Rahul. It's an interesting
Unfair.
one. That
Very
just
unfair.
speaks.
Very unfair. Sridhar Savaikar didn't see the likes of Wasim, Waqar, Magra at their best. Oh, you missed something, my friend. Glad to be seeing Bumrah operating at the height of his powers. He's in a league of his own.
Every
+1.
word is correct.
They mentioned that he's having an impact like what Hadley had in that period on commentary.
Okay.
Because of his effectiveness, the consistency with which he runs through opponents. Richard Hadley.
Yeah.
That sense.
At least strike rate was amazing at one point.
Yeah. Deepthi, time to ask where are the replacements of Umesh, Shami, Ishant, Bhuvi? Which fast bowlers were nurtured by Rohit? We don't have a fast bowling group, just one. Indeed. Where is the next crop?
Yeah.
Who is the next crop?
We spoke about it yesterday that I think there should have been a consistent usage and backing of a group of fast bowlers.
Yeah.
You definitely needed that.
Yep.
Today, I mean, I was just watching on social media, fans are, you can imagine the plight of Indian fans that they were sharing Ishant Sharma clips also, bowling really well in test match cricket. So imagine. And he's very underrated in that sense. Poor guy doesn't get the credit. And he was not, he was always Troll Army's favorite to go after him. But today, imagine the stage where they're sharing, wow, how good he was.
Will he be the last bowler, Indian pacer to get to 100 tests?
Why? There will be somebody with that longevity coming. Why do you say last bowler?
We're
It
looking.
could be someone who
Because Ishant didn't play most formats regularly, and here we have got most of the guys playing three formats.
You could get somebody who will just play, or who would be looked at as a test bowler.
Only pacer. I know spinner can, but pacer.
There have been many who have been looked at as a test specialist, but haven't really gotten those chances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's, I think,
Because
indecisiveness.
Yeah, because Zach managed
Cracked it.
90 odd, yeah.
90 odd, yeah. So Jasbir Singh, Nikhil bhai, what is the use of BCCI money? Live quality and score animation is worst on the app. Did you remember quality of WTC? Sid was right, match looks good outside India. Now I'll say match looks good when not with India.
No. So, see again, Jesse, BCCI does not do all this. You're not the only one. Many have complained about the graphics. They're not enjoying the coverage on the digital platform is the kind of feedback I've seen. But a lot of people are praising on television because it's two different channels that are showing. I did see a lot of people praising the broadcast on television. So, but that's decided by the broadcaster. So you can vent your anger towards the broadcaster. BCCI has nothing to do with this.
Pawan Holla, two issues. One is defensive field set, and second one is selecting players based on white ball performance. This is an issue for the past 3 years now. True, absolutely true. BGT was the epitome of what you saw play.
But just to be fair on this test match and some of those test matches in Australia, they were all belters. They were pitches where a lot of runs were supposed to be scored, and so then again, if these are the pitches and conditions that are going to be served up, then you will get into a defensive mode. What do? Then you try and go to plan B. You give them a nice juicy pitch and you'll see 5 slips and a gully for most of the test match and wickets falling. But that is not something that most teams are doing. They've gone, it's sad to see England has gone that way. Pitches, and because it suits their playing style. So that is why you've kind of become defensive.
Yep. Shubham Garg Singh, only 2 results possible. India bat out England and it ends in a draw. Or England chase down 270, 300 score.
Why not third result? India get 400 and dismiss England for 250.
Yeah, could happen.
Why is that result
You
out?
need 70, 80 overs in the final.
Why is that result out? It is. That's the beauty. That's what I'm saying. The test match is on a knife's edge. All results are possible. India had the option of eliminating it had they got 600 in the first innings, which they were well on course to get.
Yep.
But that option,
Yes.
you did not.
You did not take it. Yeah. So that is what GGK is saying. We will post 450 plus and win in final session. Gill 100 again.
Okay.
In final session. Achha, okay. So you need only one session to bowl England out. That's what he said.
The game will finish in the final session. You don't have to go to the final session. Tomorrow is day 4 only.
Yeah.
Today you will get 100, 120, then 300 odd in day 4. You have a full 5th day, boss.
Yes. 90
You're
overs.
hurrying. It's a lot of time.
Lot of time. Yeah.
Okay, chalo. See you guys
For the post-match.
post-match. Yeah, look forward to. It's going to be the most important session of this test match. No? Or tomorrow?
No. That ended. In the morning itself it
Yeah,
ended.
that ended.
So, but it didn't prove to be the most
No,
important.
it's basically
This could be the most important.
That was the
Or
impact.
tomorrow morning's session will be most
That was the impact of Shashwat, gut feeling.
important.
Your gut needs a lot of cleaning. Indeed.
That reminds me, I'm feeling hungry now.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
So see you for the post-match.